Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my Lair of Action Figures. Today we're going to be having a closer look at the new show that I'm putting up, who is this week's in Action Figures news. So of course last week I didn't do one due to the fact that we did not get many releases, so I preferred to do one this week. So of course we're going to be starting by G.I. Joe with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Snow Cat from our friends at Hasbro through Haslab. Now the funding has been going slow. There's a lot of people out there who are seem to be very happy in making videos about it, that it's not going to be funded, or there's going to be some other stuff I call BS on it. I think it's going to be funded. I guess the treatise should be unlocking. The numbers are lower, like I have already said in my previous video. The numbers are pretty low compared to the other projects, so this should be funding pretty easily. But we still have 33 days, and we are currently sitting at 6,794. So let's say there's about 1,300 pieces or 1,200 pieces missing to unlock. I mean, 33 days, it's highly feasible, and I really feel bad about the people not liking, wanting to back the project. I understand if you don't like it. I have no problem with it. Should pass your way and should feel happy for the people who are enjoying it. So yeah, I think it's a bit of a shame that it's doing this kind of thing, but this is exactly what we see every year. When there's something that is failing, a lot of people on YouTube are going to take advantage to try to make content. This is not what I want to do on the channel, so that's going to be it. I'm not going to go into further details about it. I'm just happy that something is being made, and if you like it, like some people seem to do, as I do, so maybe not my first pick, but I do enjoy it. Let's have a look at the other news in G.I. Joe. So continuing with G.I. Joe news, here we have the Summer Walmart Collector Con. Now it begins on July 24th at 10, I believe, a.m. It's not precise, East time, so yeah, that's going to be 4 p.m. for us in Europe. So I guess we're going to be seeing this two-set figure go up also on Hasbro Pearls for a limited quantity in the US, and of course a normal purchase for us over here in Europe. Now I guess this is going to be the same price. I'm going to be trying to pick up one from Walmart, and let's see how this goes on. Anyway, that's it for the G.I. Joe news. Let's have a look at Mask, Loyal Subjects, Mezco, Hot Toys, and so much more. So, let's talk about Masks. So, Mask was a cartoon who came out, I can't remember exactly, I think it's mobile, I can't remember exactly the title, but I did have some as a kid. It was not my favorite line due to the fact that the figures were way too small compared to my G.I. Joe or Action Force figures, but I did have this vehicle as a kid. I found it pretty interesting. The cartoon was not too bad, even if I was not the biggest fan of this show. I did like the idea behind it, and I thought the vehicles looked pretty cool. Now, so Loyal Subject is the people who are redoing it, and they seem to have exactly the same molds. There's maybe a few little things to change, but basically this is the same. The only thing that we didn't have back in the day, well, was the effects and a bit more detail on the face print. So that's something who's nice. The vehicles themselves are pretty interesting, if you like it. So yeah, I was kind of looking forward to this series, and I was interested in picking them up. There was a bit of a whole kerfuffle around it, due to the fact that Loyal Subject kind of put out the info in Europe. They went quickly crazy with announcing pre-orders. I didn't seem to really like it, Loyal Subject, so they blocked everything, and everything was re-released in July with different information concerning the prices and also the availability of certain products. But anyway, I digress. Let's go on to it. So of course, here we have Matt Tracker, who's the leader of Mask. As you can see, comes with his vehicle. Let's have a look at the next vehicle who's in it, and this is going to be the Rhino, with of course Matt Tracker with a different mask, and Bruce Sato, who is another team of Mask. So of course The vehicle itself was an interesting one. I never had this one as a kid. It was a bit maybe too expensive for me. But as you can see, you have some blast effects. You have some more blast effects over here. So it's an interesting pick. Like I said, I was interested right to got to a moment where I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do this. Like, spoiler, by the way. So here we have, of course, our friend Brad Turner, who comes with the Condor motorcycle. So this one I did had as a kid. I remember it. They were not that expensive. So yeah, I did have this one, and of course then we have Mayhem, the villain. I mean, he was a pretty interesting character. I had him as a small figure that I bought. I never had this vehicle. I think this one was pretty expensive, and of course I didn't have unlimited funds as a kid, so you had to decide what you wanted to buy, and what I wanted to buy was G.I. Joe. So this one sadly didn't pass for me, and I was not able to purchase it. Then afterwards, we have, of course, the San Diego, what was announced to be the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but now turns out it's, how do you call it, a Big Bad Toys exclusive. Now, of course, it looks to be available elsewhere in the world, so people will not miss out. As you can see, there's a few little differences. There's some chrome going on, and of course, they have added an extra bonus where we have Scott, who's the son of Matt Tracker, and his little robot, who was really annoying in the cartoon, so really didn't like it. So these are the four first sets, if we can call it like this. So, of course, there was a special offer where you could pick up all of these. And all of these were going for the same amount of money as the Snow Cat. So I don't know if loyal subjects or anybody else passed the word about the $325 for everything. So of course I wanted to wait a little bit and see the prices, but when I saw that $325 for these four items, it gives you a bit of a discount than if you're buying it. So currently they're sold out on BBTS. So yeah, the reason why I'm not going to it, it's for the following reason. So of course, we got a 40th anniversary mask. So, of course, a rhino repaint. Yay! You know that I love the repaints. You know that I really hate it. And so we are currently sitting for this vehicle at 3 repaints already, and we haven't done anything. So, of course, you can see prices about $125, $175, $150. So yeah, that puts it way above the $325, but that doesn't matter. It is still a lot of money if you want the 3 different versions, and I think so early you have only produced 4 vehicles and you already have 3 repaints of one of your most expensive vehicles. Yeah, please count me out. I know I'm a sucker for those toys, and as a collector, I do fall for certain things. But sorry, guys, if you're going to already start by making 3 different versions when you haven't even relaunched even one vehicle for now, please count me out. So sorry, not interested. Now let's have a look at Mezco, because Mezco has done something of insane. Now, if you follow my Facebook page, I saw the launch of this vehicle and I said, this is effing insane. And of course, Mezco has pulled out a vehicle that has a lot of similarities with the Valaverse version of the Vanguard. So this looks a bit similar to it. And try to guess the price, $325. I'm wondering, I'm going to put my tin hat foil on to say that there must be secretly having an organization putting themselves together and saying, hey, listen, everything is coming out today, who's going to be some kind of con or exclusive stuff. Let's gather it up and put it for $325. So this is the same price as Snow Cat, same price as the mask, and also the same price for this vehicle. So from what I understood, it seems to have been an exclusive only for Mezco Toyzs. You can only purchase from them. And it looks like they're giving some free shipping for the US, who's pretty nice. But I didn't order it. I wanted to order it because I find it really interesting and looks pretty amazing. I would sell, of course, the figure because I don't really care about this figure. If he would have maybe a regular arm, I would maybe try to take it off and use it to do something else with. But the fact that it's not the case, I would have sold this figure. But as you can see, it comes with a lot of stuff. There's some secret storage for weapons. There's removable roof rack. You have opening doors on the top, hatches. Behind it opens up. You have optional Top Gun, who's a Gatling gun and a rocket launcher. This is why I'm saying it does have a lot of similarities with the Vanguard. Then you have also this protection that can be removed. And there's also the windshield behind that can be removed. There's an opening track to have a look at the engine. Of course, it has working headlights, tail lights, working winch for in front with a nice little add-on. And of course, you have some spring-absorbing shock amortisers for your vehicle. Of course, the doors are open for that price, but I do think it's interesting. The fact that I didn't really want to go with it, because as you can see, it does come with a lot of light. So this is the box of this vehicle. So this is how it looks from in front. I mean, it looks pretty insane. And as you may know, when you have a lot of lights and all of this, is something that can have maybe a technical failure. So the fact is that I'm going to be shipping this to my friend in the US, then I'm going to be shipping it back to me in Switzerland. So this makes no sense. If there's a problem, I won't be able to send it back. And this is going to complicate the thing. So this is what I didn't really wanted to go with it. And it's again a lot of money. So if I have to put 325 in the, in our friends at Hasbro with the Snow Cat, then if I wanted to do mass, that's another 325, then I have another 325 for it. This is a lot of money, and it looks like most of these things seem to be coming out at the same time. So yeah, this is going to be a bit problematic. I have to see. I'm still hesitating about it, but as you can see, this vehicle looks really, really awesome. And as you can see, there's a lot of light, there's a lot of space in it. And it would look really cool on the G.I. Joe team to have it and to use it for maybe the Night Force or some other kind of intervention group, but this looks really, really amazing. So, of course, more pictures. So this is the same kind of rocket launcher who's on the Vanguard. But yeah, this vehicle really, really works. But sadly, I do not have unlimited funds. So now that we have looked at the 112 scale, of course, and the mask is not 112, but we looked at G.I. Joe, we looked at mask, and we looked at our friends at Mezco. We're going to be going into the 1/6 scale world. So here we go for the 1/6 scale world. Now, I didn't do some pictures for some of the Hot Toy releases, and I also wanted to have a bit more info before going into all of this about the Superman, because Superman was released by Hot Toys at, of course, at $285. And of course, I was waiting to see because we knew that Inart would be also making version. So this is the Inart version. I did a video. If you want to go and check it out, we're talking about the Superman from Hot Toys. But for now, something else who's also interesting to know is that we see where the movie is going. So the movie seems to be kind of like not the best thing out there, but it's not so bad. It should be kid-friendly, so that means a lot of families are going to see it, but family movies doesn't mean they're going to buy Inart figures or Hot Toy figures. That's for more high-end collectibles. So this is why it's going to be interesting to see how the movie does work on the collectible side, and that will determine if Hot Toys is going to make a bit more figures around this franchise. So of course, Inart don't own anything that they've made, but I mean the head sculpt looks pretty amazing. They're going to give Hot Toys one for their money. Here is the whole of Superman. His body seems a bit larger. I thought he was a bit thinner in the movie trailers that I've seen. I haven't seen the movie yet. It's not out yet, so hard to say, but the figure itself looks not too bad. There's not too much crease in the outfit, so that's something who's good compared to Hot Toys. Of course, Inart puts Hot Toys to sleep with the dog, because Crypto is 100 times better than what Hot Toys has given us. As you can see, he does stand on the ground, so it doesn't look as ridiculous. As you can see, there's a few little wrinkles, but it looks not too bad at all. Inart gives us a second head sculpt, so for me this is a huge win, because if you get two head sculpts, for me that is something that is pretty nice. The fact of having him closing his eyes, I don't know if this is something related to the movie, but it can be a very interesting idea to give this kind of face with your figure. Now, when I'm looking at this head sculpt, I really think that they really nailed it compared to Hot Toys. Something was not a bit off with Hot Toys, but Inart really nailed it properly. And here you can see our friend Crypto. So he looks amazing compared to Hot Toys. This is another picture from a different angle, and here you're going to see this is Hot Toys, this is Inart. I mean, the detail on the dog is strip fantastic. This thing looks like something Hasbro would have made, so really not a fan of it. Now, of course, when we're going to be talking what are we getting with the figures, so of course we get two portraits, we get a smaller base than the Hot Toys, we get less hands than Hot Toys, the attach for him flying is a bit different than the magnet. I do highly appreciate the fact that we're having boots like this, due to the fact that if they're made out of pleather or any kind of material that could age pretty bad, the fact that you have them in this pose to give him the impression he's flying is a very smart move from the part of Inart, and this is something that Hot Toys needs to maybe take into consideration, like Sideshow did at the time with the Clone Troopers, where you had different feet to interchange with it, and this is something that could be done. But of course, Hot Toys does come with a lot more stuff. Now, depends what you want to do, but like I said, you can see of course, Inart doesn't have the separate rolling eyeballs, but it's a bit of a gadget and not something that I really care about. But as you can see, Hot Toys is not yet there for this figure. Now, continuing with Hot Toys now, we're going to be jumping into the James Bond figure. Now, I didn't do a video for this figure because this figure here is a bit of a figure that is annoying to me, because this should have been a 2-in-1. With the first James Bond they released, with the suit, they should have done some kind of DX version of it. And I do find this one a bit more interesting because I already have a Daniel Craig made by DID, even if it's not the name of the figure, because they didn't pay the license for it. But we all recognize Daniel Craig, so I mean, I don't need an army of Daniel Craigs in suit. So this one is something of interesting. I'm still hesitating if I'm going to pick it up. The suggested retail price of this one is $260 US. So something to be seen. As we can see over here, we do have a pretty decent figure itself. Is it something that you could kit bash easily? Yeah, it could be done pretty easily. So yeah, this is something that needs to be taken into consideration also. But yeah, I do like the look of the figure. I think he looks not too bad. The fact that you can pull off the sweater looks okay. Doesn't look like there's too many material. I'll be just a bit worried about all these little bits and pieces here, how they're going to age, because those things have a tendency of getting unglued if they were glued. So of course the figure itself looks pretty amazing. Again, it's Hot Toys. On this one, Daniel Craig, they really nailed it. The glasses are a nice little touch. The fact that you can decide to put the pants up and down. Of course, you're not going to be able to tuck this part of it, so it's going to be pulled out. So yeah, this is something a little neat to point out. Here we have the detail, how they call it, highly detailed weapons and equipment. But let's be honest, we already know it. It's nothing new from Hot Toys. So yeah. The figure itself looks pretty neat, and I think this should have been a 2-in-1, a DX. Sell it a bit more expensive, and we could get all of it. Now, as you can see, you get this drop of the interior of the gun. This is the classic James Bond look for when you're seeing it, but it's not working with this figure due to the fact that this is not how you're going to see James Bond. You always see him in a suit walking, then he fires this pistol and shoots the person in it, and then you have the blood running down, and when it becomes all red, you have the generic of the movie who starts. So yeah, I'm looking pretty forward to see for this figure. I'm still hesitating if I'm going to pick it up or not. I'm more of a fan of this one than the first one that they released. Now, here we go for another figure that I didn't do the video for, and I just wanted to combine it with this week in action figure news. And here we have Joel Miller from, of course, The Last of Us. So this is, for me, problematic. The big problem with this figure here is, are we going to get Ellie? Are we going to get any other figures with it? So, of course, Sideshow or Hot Toys hasn't teased us anything about the figure. Now, I do find it funny that they put the his flashlight with the light on, but they will not have this is stripped for the effect. So I mean, this is pretty stupid of doing a promotion picture, putting this kind of light on if you're not going to be including it. So anyway, that's my point of view on it. I think it's ridiculous. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Head sculpt looks amazing. I mean, it's not the first time. Of course, this is an interesting head sculpt if you want to use it also. If you have one of the Mandalorian figures who did not come with the head sculpt, because there's only one version who came with it. You will be seeing when I will be doing the reviews of the different Mandalorians I have. Those will be coming up later on this year. So if you don't have it, it can be an interesting figure to have. As you can see, they did a pretty good job, and of course we all know for now every new Hot Toy seems to have the separate rolling eyeballs. So I find it as a bit of a gadget. It's if you ask anybody who has been using who's a mechanic, the mechanics are going to tell you, yeah, the more you have of moving parts in a vehicle, the more chances they have to break down, and this is exactly the same. It's a nice touch, and the ones I have who have this system, the DX ones, a lot of them had some problems and some issues. So again, this is something that needs to be checked. Maybe they have improved it, but the Joker did have a lot of problems with this eyeball rolling system, so something to be checked out. So of course we're going into the details of the weapons. Nothing new over here. The figure does come with pretty much what you see him in the TV show, and it looks not too bad. Is it a $285 figure? Good question. I don't know. Will I pick it up? Probably not. I like the show. Nothing extraordinary worth watching. The second season was okay. But again, without knowing what else comes out in the line, why would I want to pick up this figure? I have no intent. I don't understand, except Inart on the market, who is going after Hot Toys. Nobody else has the capacity to go after Hot Toys. So I don't understand why they don't tell us what else they're going to release in this license, because I should find it ridiculous. So yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for this week in action figures news. So if you like this kind of video, please leave a like, share, comment. If you have any suggestions, let me know also in the comment section. You can go and check out my Facebook page for pictures that I have taken. I'm going to be scanning some cool pictures I did back in the day, or my father did for me. So you can go and check those out. I will maybe try to post them to Instagram. Not a big fan of the interaction with Instagram, but you can also go. The links will be in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share the content. It does help a lot to promote the channel, and I will be giving some updates on what is going to be coming up and where is my Lair of Action Figures going, in which direction it is. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!